receives his Neville for this statement made after the innocents had been freed.
I do think it is a vindication of the British justice system.
You have to admit it, either can certainly bend both ways. He and Harold Wilson could probably perform the whole Kama Sutra between them. My own personal favourite of this week's Nevilles was given to the world by David Steele, who, in 1981, made this extraordinary statement.
Mr. President, I have the good fortune to be the first Liberal leader for over half a century who's able to say to you at the end of our annual assembly, go back to your constituencies and prepare for government.
I know it's cruel, but I do love that one. I mean, let's face it, that well-known Liberal Mrs Thatcher has, of course, been returned with huge majorities twice since then.
I applaud the BBC for bravely bringing back the generation game. I say we go further and bring back penal servitude, child labour and hanging.
Actually, no, seriously, though, people think I knock that. You know, I have a great deal of sympathy for Mrs Thatcher. I mean, it must be quite difficult to operate in a normal life with her particular personality trait. Our Prime Minister is incapable of admitting she's wrong. Not ever, 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 in any circumstances. Now, confidence is one thing, but this is pathological. How does she get through the day? I mean, we've all opened a door the wrong way. You think it's a pusher, but actually it's a puller. There you go. You think, oh, I'll push this. No, I'll have to pull it. And through you go. No problem at all. Mrs Thatch, she'd be stuck there forever. She'd be pushing it on. I've decided I cannot change that this door is a pusher. I cannot change. No, you don't. No, she'd starve to death. I mean, no one wants a weed in charge. But how can you get through life when you're incapable of admitting you're wrong?
By the way, this escalator, it's going the wrong way. Can somebody stop it, please? There's the button there.
The Prime Minister is most anxious that we know that she does relax sometimes. She's told us how she relaxes. She relaxes by taking little tingly baths. She does. She has a bath with a little tingly current running all over her. This worries me. We are being governed by a person whose idea of winding down is electrocuting herself. Talk about a bride of Frankenstein. Now we know where all that energy comes from. I mean, running a country must be an extremely tiring job, and occasionally it shows. But a quick 40,000 volts up the chief executive cat flap and... well... it certainly makes a change from Radox. Now, we are constantly bombarded on television with information, public figures, advice. They tell us everything. Television is full of advice. How to put on a condom, how to cook, or parties like you and me. Therefore, occasionally, we here on The Man from Auntie will present farties guides to tell the truth about the world we have to deal with. We start with that brand new microwave. OK, first, prepare the surface that your microwave is going to stand on. Now, as you know, microwaves, like any other cooker, should have loads and loads of unpleasant kitchen junk and crap and gunk underneath it. Now, if you bought a really upmarket one, it should come supplied with a sachet of decomposing kitchen junk to put underneath it. If not, it's very simple to make up your own. Just take a large mixing bowl, that'll do, a wooden spoon, and just a few breadcrumbs. There you are, can you see that? There we are, a few old breadcrumbs and perhaps some grease and oil. There we go. All plenty in, don't worry, doesn't matter how much. In it goes, there you are. Perhaps a bit of jam, doesn't matter which flavour. Doesn't matter which flavour, just plenty of jam. I think we've got strawberry here, but it doesn't matter. It's not irrelevant. It's not relevant. Give it a good stir. Add a few frozen peas. A few, because you know your peas roll under the microwave and under the toaster. Well, add a few peas. There we go. A few peas. There we go. Give the whole thing a good stir. Can you see that? We got that. Can you see that? And then you choose carefully where your microwave oven is going to go, and then you just, there we go. You just smear it all over, give it a good smear. Doesn't matter how much, you can't use too much of this stuff. You really can't. Give it a good smear, then take your new microwave and dump it on top. There we go. That's the way. Now, a good tip. Oh no, nearly forgot. Always add a few foreign coins and then slide a few foreign coins underneath. And another idea is biros. That's very good, because a good tip is if you're ever short of a biro, you'll find one under the toaster or the microwave. And, oh, if you've got any of your gunk left over, don't waste it. No, don't waste it, because there's plenty of places you can put it. I like to stick it down between the fridge and the work surface. Just get it smeared right down there, as you do. There we go. Get it right the way down, so there's no chance of you ever being able to get at it to clean it, so it'll still be there when you come to move house. OK, so So, there we are. The microwave's in position, and you have to learn to use it. Now, obviously, the instruction manual is far too intimidating to read at first, so for a while you just mindlessly prod at the controls and kind of sadly twitch it and prod it in the sort of hope that a three-course meal will just leap out spontaneously. It doesn't, of course, so eventually you just give up and pop down the local fried chicken. Now, obviously, I haven't got time to pop down the local fried chicken now, so here's a couple of hundred people who had one earlier. Anyway, the microwave sits there completely ignored and intimidating for a whole week. You can't face it. A whole week, you ignore it. Now, obviously, we haven't got time to ignore it for a week now. So, there we go. And here's a microwave that we ignored for a week already. So, in the end, of course, you're having to give in and read the instructions. This is an appalling prospect, but you have to go through with it. Otherwise, you'll have paid about 200 quid for a large television-shaped clock that always thinks the time is 88 minutes past 88. Now, the instructions are, of course, written in German and Arabic and Japanese, and, of course, a dialect which looks like English, but turns out to be an obscure language known as unintelligible bollards. Now, you notice I said bollards, you see, since Dave Allen we have to be very, very careful. But I'm talking about the type of bollards that a gentleman keeps in his underwear. Okay, anyway, so, unintelligible bollards. Anyway, reading the instructions is so depressing that in order to persevere, you have to get drunk. Now, obviously, I don't have time to go off and get drunk now, so here's someone who got drunk for us. Eventually, you become so obsessed with trying to decipher the unintelligible bollards and work the oven that your home life falls apart and you end up getting a divorce. Now, obviously, I don't have time to have a divorce right now. I'd have to go off and get married and all that. It'd take far too long. So, here's a couple who've agreed to have a divorce for us. Eventually, lost and alone, your life ruined by technology, you master the on and off switch and are ready to sling your menu mistress bird of freedom lean meal chemically saturated crap meal for one in the oven. Now, of course, the ads would have us believe that the type of people who eat these frozen chemical cocktails are beautifully dressed models in white, living in huge ultra-white designer attics who only stop exercising in order to have another romantic candle-lit frozen lasagna for two. Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up for me? Because let's face it, when it's a really romantic evening and you feel special about that special person, you always serve them frozen convenience food, don't you? Unfortunately, like all adverts, this is a complete fantasy. The reality, of course, is some sad old farty like me sat in their underwear watching Wogan. But that's okay. We all have to eat, so there you go, and in it goes. Now, don't forget, microwave safety is all about using your machine properly. So, you have to take it out again after a minute, give it a bit of a stir, put it back in again in a different part of the oven, close the oven, open it up again, take it out, give it another stir, put it back in, different part of the oven, don't forget, open the oven, take it out again, give it another stir, put it back in, move it across the oven into a different part of the oven. Now, if you want to be really, really safe, the safest thing is to take it all the way out of the oven altogether, across the kitchen, and bung it in your conventional cooker. Now, when cooking time is completed, you must, of course, leave the food to stand for 10 minutes, because standing time is very important. Now, obviously, we can't hang around for 10 minutes, which is the time prescribed on the label. We can't hang around, so here's one we let stand 10 minutes ago, and which the cat, while I was out of the room thinking warm lasagna, a vast improvement on gravel, has crapped in. Now, it was warm lasagna on top, but as with all microwaves, cooked from the middle, so hotter than Jeffrey Archer's pants inside. One injudicious bite and you lose 6 layers of skin in agony. Of course, incinerating your mouth might be the least of your problems, because if you're unlucky, the microwave won't have cooked it properly and you will get food poisoning. Now, obviously, I haven't got time to make myself sick now, so here's something that made me sick earlier. And that's how to cook with a microwave.
Liz Dawson! Lesbian Dawson, more like.
I was talking earlier about things that get stuck to cars. You remember the Garfield stuck to the window? People have funny stickers on the back of their cars. I don't like things that are stuck to cars. I think cars should be painted with Teflon so things can't be stuck to them. Baby on board. Now, how am I supposed to respond to this cryptic message? Oh, yeah, thanks for telling me, mate, yeah. Because I was just about to pile into your big end, but, seeing as how you got a sprog in the car, I'll cover the brake, all right.
You're gonna kill me!
Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I thought you were only worried about your kid.
I'm going to have my own sticker made for the back window of my car. It's going to say, sadly, I have not been personally blessed with children, but I'd still prefer not to die in a car crash, thank you. I mean, smug or what? Don't flaunt your fertility at me, mate. I mean, that's what they're saying, isn't it? Them stickers, oh, I've done it, and there's the proof. No virgins in this car, eh? I mean, some people are so smug about, you know, kids and everything. I'd like to have kids one day, but, I mean, you know, you've got to get it in perspective. A lot of people say that, that women are more prone to wanting to have children than men. Now, I don't know if this is the case. I'd certainly like to. But they call it the maternal instinct. Now, if this is true, which it may well be, I think there is a very good practical reason for it. And that reason is one word. Contraception. Because I don't know who it was that invented the various methods of contraception available, but I hazard a guess it was a man. Because let us look at what is on the market for the two sexes. Roll up, roll up, roll up for Ben's comparative guide to contraception. On the ladies' side, we have three basic choices. You can either have a small pill, which may give you thrombosis and heart failure. Lovely, lovely, lovely girls. Or the lady in question may choose to favour a little rubber pudding basin, which she fills with spermicidal napalm. Oh, really gets you in the mood for a bonk, that, doesn't it, girls, eh? You're thinking, blimey, if this kills 6 million sperms, I don't know what it's doing to the inside of my fanny, but I don't like it. Well, you'd have to think about it, wouldn't you? Seriously, it's not exactly an aphrodisiac, is it, that little rubber pudding basin? Every woman who ever had a cap always thought, it's not going to affect my sex life. I'm going to put it in every night, whether we make love or not. Oh, yeah. By the second night, you're going, oh, God, do we have to tonight? I don't want to put me cap in. Oh, all right, if you really want to. Stay out there, you won't like it, in the bathroom. 11:30 at night, half drunk, one perno too many, the bathroom spinning round your head. You're trying to find your cap, you dig out the old pudding basin, there you are. Trying to focus on it, fill it up with napalm. Half a tube, you think, oh, God, I better put a whole tube in, I don't want to get pregnant by him. There you go. Filling it up, it's all there, sliming around. Oh, it really turns you on, half drunk. You're trying to focus, you forgot to take your knickers off, you can see. You can see 3 gussets, you don't know which one to aim at, you're not too sure. Spinning round, leg up on the side of the bath, trying to steady yourself. I mean, 3 minutes ago you felt like making love. Now you just want to be sick. You're thinking, but he's gone to sleep. He's gone to sleep in there, I bet you. I'll tell you, I'm going to wake him up and make him do it, even if I have to put it in a splint.